Good morning, and welcome to Children's Worship. Today is August 2nd, and we'll be focusing on what does it mean to be the church by being open in heart, mind, and body to all of what is unknown. Yeah, so here we go. Opening song. This song actually comes from the questions that were asked by an artist in a painting of the same words in the song, and you can look that up with your family if you'd like. It's very interesting. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? And the answer is only mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. So you can sing whichever part you want. Here we go all together. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Our chalice lighting today will be in the home of Ada and Henry, and here they are. Double thumbs up for life. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather an online community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries, especially today, of this great gift. Awesome. Here's a special place I wanted to share with you today. Here, the Merrimack River comes and it flows down, and then it empties out into the sea at the end, into the vast Atlantic Ocean. So just like the river flowing to the sea, in the Buddhist practice, it is connecting to that quality in water, which is flowing out or emptying out. So let's practice today like water, breathing in and flowing out. However you want to flow out, breathing in and flowing out, and breathing in and flowing out. However you want to flow, get into a rhythm, breathing in and flowing out, and breathing in and flowing out. Let's just keep doing it for fun. Something about a shell is just like, as Unitarian Universalists, about our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Anybody guess? Yeah. The spiral, it's such a beautiful way that a lot of spiritual traditions, including our own, have embraced this idea of ongoing revelation or ongoing openness. Not like sometimes in our culture, it can be very what's called linear, in a straight line. But actually what we celebrate as Unitarian Universalists is more of like a spiral. Could we ever know everything there is to know about any one thing? Could you ever know everything there is to know about a seashell, or about yourself, or about your body, or about somebody else's body, or about all of this? The answer is no. It's an amazing thing to have this kind of way of understanding our life as humans, as that we're constantly unfolding and opening to new experience and to learning and to growing from everything around us. It is amazing. Here is a story just about this idea of when you think you know it all, think again. There's a part in the story where the energy of that professor is like, "What are you doing?" So, to get ready for this story, you should practice this. Ready? Here we go. "What are you doing?" Yeah. So when that part comes up, I will put it on the screen for you, and that way you can give it a good shout out, because it is something in us, that anger and energy of like, I know it all, that we need to be in touch with in order to open ourselves to the lesson that comes after. And here are Olin and Hannah to teach us.
There once was a professor and a master. The professor spent his life attaining knowledge of the ways of Zen, clearing his mind, meditation. He believed he knew everything he could, so he sought out the master of Zen to try to learn more. The professor comes upon the master's door. "Master, I've learned everything I can about the ways of Zen. I've meditated for days on end, sat under trees, reading books, timeless hours I've spent in my life, just researching all of the different things I could. I believe I know everything I can about the ways of Zen. Can you teach me more, Master?" And the master says,
"Why don't you come in for some tea?"
So the professor accepted the master's invitation. And as the master began pouring his tea, he continues explaining, "I've been to all of the corners of the world. I've traveled seeking the best knowledge. And I can't find anything else that I haven't learned already. Master, do you have any more knowledge you can bestow upon me?" And the professor looks down and realizes the master is overflowing his tea. And he says, "Master, you're overflowing my tea." And the master exclaims,
"Well, when you come in with your cup already full, then there's no room for any more tea."
and the professor then understood that he couldn't learn any more without having an open mind. And that is the story.
There's a few things about Unitarian Universalism that are in this story. We are open to learning and growing, and in that wonder, we can be transformed. Yeah, so that's the principle that this one most closely teaches us about, is that openness to continue to grow and change. Yeah. It also is such a great reminder of the inherent worth of every person and our interdependence, right? The interdependent web. Because in this story, it really does show us yet again that we are not isolated beings, that we are always in relationship, and that our liberation and our growing is tied up with someone else's, right? We don't do that all in our separate little space. It is always in relational life that we develop and further learn both about ourselves and about all that is. Yeah. So it is also a story that challenges us to confront the idea that school learning, or learning everything we thought we needed to know from whatever source, and I've heard this story told about book learning, like it's a professor, it's somebody who has studied it, but not studied it maybe so much in the heart, right? So we can know things intellectually with our brains, but not know them and connect to them in our hearts and minds. So it's a very, very important thing to listen to the stories teaching to all of us, to each one of us, about what we think we know, especially in these times, right? It's very difficult to sit with uncertainty. And in this way, it would be to empty ourselves of what we think we know the answers to everything about, including the future, and to open ourselves to the possibility that we might grow in ways we could not foresee. Yeah. For our family connection today, I have a simple practice to offer, and that is a very powerful practice that my family has done, and it is a circle of questions. It is merely to simply take a chalice, like the empty bowl in the story, or a candle, whatever you have, and to pass it around the circle of your family, and not to fix, not to explain, not to answer, but to ask a question when you have the chalice. So what is a question you have? And it could be any question. It could be, where do we come from? It could be, when will this day turn cloudy? It could be, when will I die? It could be, what will I do in my life? It could be, what will I have for breakfast tomorrow? It could be anything that you wonder, right? And maybe you might want to do it in 3 different ways to make sure that you're checking yourself about the story's wisdom. And by that I mean, intellectually, what don't you know yet? With your heart, what don't you know yet? And with your body, what don't you know yet? Those are 3 very different things, and yet they're all very, very much connected. You could also do a circle of things that you've learned this week. Intellectually, with your mind, in your heart, and with your body, right? Sounds really fun. So in my mind, this week, for example, I learned all about herons because heron is a power animal for me, and I wanted to learn about the heron. I learned some words in Italian. I learned about, so many things that I wanted to learn about. But I also learned with my heart. I learned about what my daughter was feeling about something. I learned about my best friend's feelings towards her mother. I learned myself in my heart about the need for letting go. And with my body, I learned so much this week with my body, right? I learned yet again how much I love to body surf. I learned about how to take a rest. I offer you those 2 circle practices. One, the circle of questions, and another, a circle of wisdom that you've grown in. That's all for now. So much love from this church. And we'll see you next time. Bye.